In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis stands to benefit from a climate change adaptation project. New lifeline tariff being developed to assist SCELC clients. And Sugar Mass 45 officially comes to an end with a prize-giving ceremony. The details to these stories and more after the break.
Need a new stove, fridge, bed or TV? Short on cash? Come to Courts and let's get it done! Trade in your old items for 15% off the purchase of a new one and get what you need now with Courts Ready Finance. So let's get it done! Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Jason Davis, sitting in for Shaira Flanders. St. Kitts and Nevis is one of 10 countries in the eastern and southern Caribbean that stand to benefit from the Climate Change Adaptation Project, which was launched late 2016 by the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center and is funded by the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID. A technical team comprising of 6 persons from the CCCCC and USAID visited the Federation from January 19 to 20 to sensitize the country as well as initiate the implementation of the CCAP. The project amounts to approximately $25.5 million and will be implemented over a 4-year period ending in September 2020. Cheryl Jeffers, Conservation Officer in the Department of Environment, said the project is extremely important to St. Kitts and Nevis. She said, quote, "The Caribbean Community Climate Change Center and the USAID have recognized the importance of Caribbean countries such as St. Kitts and Nevis in building their resilience as it relates to climate change." End quote. Joseph McGann, project manager, said the project was developed with global warming in mind. The project will implement various activities under 3 technical components, which include upgrading and expanding the country's climate-related data management processes, identifying and testing the feasibility of innovative adaptation approaches, and assuring climate finance for the scaling up and replication of cost-effective, sustainable adaptation initiatives. Senior citizens and single-parent-led households will be afforded power at a reduced rate with the implementation of a new initiative at the St. Kitts Electricity Company, or SCELC, at the request of the Minister of Energy. Minister responsible for public infrastructure, the Honorable Ian Patches-Liburd, told listeners and viewers of the National Assembly on Friday that a lifeline tariff is being considered to benefit vulnerable groups. He added that these groups were ideal for the relief. In the case of retired seniors, fixed incomes usually received through Social Security benefits or pensions allow limited flexibility to adjust to increases in the cost of living where applicable. Minister Liburd said that people in the Federation should not be afraid to grow old, and this measure is likely to be welcomed. As for single-parent-led households, Minister Liburd identified the primary beneficiaries to be students who will be able to use the electricity to power modern technological tools used for their education. The minister said details are being finalized and more information will be shared over the coming months. He added that the initiative is part of government's commitment to nationals. The government is expected to strengthen existing social safety net programs and roll out new economic and social measures to achieve this over the coming months. In other news, the Keon primary and high schools were the recipients of thousands of books donated by the Green Valley Global organization based in New York City. Lennox Liburd of Green Valley Global, in donating the books, said the organization has a vested interest in the schools in the Keon community.
On behalf of the Green Valley organization, in collaboration with the People's Empowerment, under the guidance of Mr. Duncan Watley, the director, the Green Valley Global over the years have been presenting and making donations to the Keon Primary School proper. So our primary focus is to make sure that the kids, the teachers of the Keon Primary School and the Keon High School understand that we are out there. We want to be a family with the Keon Primary School and family with the Keon High School. And if there are times that you all can reach out to us, if we can help, we will help.
Principal of Keon Primary, Angela Matthew, thanked the organization for the timely donation.
And this activity today shows the close collaboration with the community and the school, and we are indeed grateful. Once again, I say thank you.
And teacher at the Keon High School, Ornette Henry, also thanked Green Valley Global. She said the donation was welcome in an era where more focus is placed on technology.
As educators, we never turn our backs on donations that are given from all the stakeholders that are involved in educating our youths. So today I would like to thank Green Valley Global in collaboration with Department of Empowerment for donating these books. We really do appreciate the fact that the community came together and decided that they should donate reading books or mathematics books because students need to understand the value of the paper book and the community need to understand the value of the paper book.
The donation was facilitated by the Department of People's Empowerment through its director, Duncan Watley. After the break, Carnival officially comes to an end with a prize-giving ceremony. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. Winners of various competitions from Sugar Mass 45 received their prizes as the St. Kitts Nevis National Carnival Committee hosted the Sugar Mass 45 prize-giving ceremony on Friday. The event featured performances from various soca artists, calypsonians, as well as speeches from various subcommittee chairs and a performance from Her Majesty's Prison Band, which was the headline act. Also in attendance was the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Culture, the Honourable Sean Richards. Prizes were awarded to winners of the Senior Calypso Monarch, Soca Monarch, Junior Calypso Monarch, National Carnival Queen, Miss National Swimwear, Mr. GQ, and various street activities. The event officially brought activities for Sugar Mass 45 to an end. Meanwhile, Chairman of the National Carnival Committee, Noah Mills, has thanked the government of St. Kitts and Nevis for reposing confidence in the committee when it first took charge of Carnival in 2015. Mills noted that his committee had to contend with several shortcomings when it assumed the responsibility of organizing the festivities, including the lack of a proper financial structure with no budget and the need to develop infrastructure. Speaking on the recent edition of Working for You on ZIZ Radio, Mr. Mills said that when he took up the mantle of Carnival Chairman, there was no budget in place and they had to immediately create one in a short space of time before any planning could be done. He also said the guidelines, rules and regulations governing Carnival events had to be revised. He said the Carnival Committee introduced Article 6 in the rules and regulations governing the Calypso and Soca competitions, which pertained to protecting intellectual property rights, which was rejected by the Calypsonians but accepted by the Soca artists. In relation to judging, Mr. Mills disclosed that electronic scoring was introduced to help speed up the scoring process of judging the competitions. Coming up, Trinidad and Tobago's murder rate now at 34 for 2017. Stay tuned. On the regional scene, the murder rate in Trinidad now stands at 34 for 2017. More in this C News report.
Friends died how they lived, together. Damian Daniel and Clint Hernandez, also known as Clint Alexander, were always seen together and were killed last evening in Carapu. A relative of Hernandez told the reporters he left his Brazil home with the intention of going to the mosque in Carapu for a meeting. His relative said Clint had been avoiding going to the mosque since last week when he was summoned. He further told the reporters he is not picking up for his relative, knowing what he was into.
He was involved in criminal activity. Anything you could think about, name it there. If these is the people you leave home talking to on the phone and you reach down there, and these is the same people that later on kill you, then it had to be something, it's your own people kill you.
Maracas St. Joseph saw 3 people killed in 2 separate incidents on Thursday. Wassa pipe fitter Kerwin John, who lived at Lavantil Road in San Juan, was killed after leaving home to go to a line. His father, speaking to reporters at the Forensic Science Center on Friday, told reporters his son was a good boy and did not believe he was the target.
No man, that man was real quiet boy. But you know, just imagine, he used to run from nothing. Nothing, because look, he get shot and thing already. He gone in a yard with the same one with stab and I say walk out. Yeah. He came and they went in to the man and the man shot him. And he hear the brakes one, he gets shot in the head. The man they run, all of them run and leave him. You understand? He don't run. Look, and that what happened last night. Everybody run.
Now this hole in the wall and this hole in the windscreen of this police vehicle, proof of the incident that occurred on Thursday evening that took the lives of Shamir Ali and Kulan Maisman George. And this wall is proof of a possible backlash that can stem from the double murder. The usually quiet village of Maracas St. Joseph, the scene where Shamir Ali and Kulan Maisman George were executed yesterday evening. Now, reports have suggested that we were not sure if they were heading to the police station to sign or they were returning from the police station, but I've got confirmation from the Maracas St. Joseph police station that he was in fact there. He signed the book and in fact was leaving the police station when it happened. Now, there are questions that are still to be answered. According to the investigative officers yesterday evening, they said they found questionable items inside of the vehicle in which they were traveling. Now the questions remain whether they came to the police station with the items or not, and where were they heading after leaving the police station. And in Tobago, also on Thursday evening, Dale Boucher of Plymouth was killed after being shot in the head. Now these incidents, along with the Thursday morning murder of Anthony Roberts, make it 7 men killed just one day after a national security media conference where Acting Commissioner Stephen Williams claimed he would step down if the crime situation did not improve. Ian Wason for C News.
Coming up, a Gambian leader finally agrees to step down amid military pressure. We'll have the details after this.
Need a new stove, fridge, bed, or TV? Short on cash? Come to Courts and let's get it done. Trade in your old items for 15% off the purchase of a new one and get what you need now with Courts Ready Finance. So let's get it done. Only at Courts, bringing value home.
Gambia's former leader has finally agreed to step down amid military pressure. More in this Euronews report.
A political crisis in the Gambia appears to be over, with the country's leader finally agreeing to step down. Yahya Jammeh had refused to concede defeat after elections in December.
I believe in the importance of dialogue and in the capacity of Africans to resolve among themselves all the challenges on the way towards democracy, economic and social development. It is as a result of this that I have decided today, in good conscience, to relinquish the mantle of leadership of this great nation.
But experts say Jammeh really had no choice but stand down, with thousands of soldiers from Nigeria and Senegal entering the country on Thursday to remove him.
I want to see some justice. I want to have some form of closure. Thank God he agreed to step down. Wherever he moves to, we'll follow him there, grab him, take him to The Hague, and prostitute him and send him down us in a prison.
Adama Barrow won the election amid complaints that Jammeh, who'd been in office since a coup in 1994, had become increasingly authoritarian.
Up next in sports, Deandra Dottin makes a winning return, and refugees make Olympic history. Stay tuned. An astonishing second successive duck for Stephanie Taylor was overshadowed only by her West Indies teammate Deandra Dottin's dramatic return from injury, as their franchises suffered contrasting fortunes in the Women's Big Bash in Jamaica on Friday. Sidelined for nearly 3 weeks after undergoing surgery to repair multiple fractures of her cheekbone following an on-field collision with teammate Laura Harris, Dottin was back in action at the Gabba to help Heat trounce bottom-of-the-table Adelaide Strikers by 9 wickets. The effervescent Barbadian all-rounder sent down 3 overs, which cost 22 runs and yielded no wickets, as Strikers sent in rallied for 139 for 5 off their 20 overs. They were floundering at 63 for 5 in the 13th over before Tammy Beaumont struck an unbeaten 50 off 42 balls to revive the innings in an unbroken 76-run 6th wicket stand with Amanda Wade Wellington, who slammed 46 off 25 deliveries. In reply, Dottin's services were not required as opener Beth Mooney stroked an unbeaten 75 from 47 balls in a 101-run opening stand with captain Kirby Short, 42, which erased any doubt about the result. At Lilac Hill Park in Perth, Taylor's woes matched those of Thunder in a damaging 4-run loss to Perth scorers, a result which eliminated the reigning champions from playoff contention. The West Indies captain faced just 1 delivery before she was run out in the 2nd over without scoring, as Thunder, chasing 150 for victory, were held to 145 for 6. Indian star Harmanpreet Kaur was outstanding in an unbeaten 64 off 37 balls, which included a 4 and 6 sixes, but the innings was in vain as Thunder failed to muster the 14 runs required from the last over. Elise Villani had earlier hit 74 off 55 deliveries in a 97-run opening stand with Nicole Burton, 32, to spur Scorchers to 149 for 5 off 20 overs. Dottin suffered the ignominy of a first-ball duck in her last game on Monday. At Bellerive Folk in Hobart, teenage West Indies star Hayley Matthews went wicketless from 2 overs, which cost 23 runs, and did not bat, as her Hobart Hurricanes went down to Melbourne Stars by 4 wickets under Duckworth Lewis. For the first time in the history of the Games, a team of 10 will make up the refugee Olympic team. 2 Syrian swimmers, 5 runners from South Sudan, and 2 judo practitioners from the Democratic Republic of Congo will represent refugees all over the world as they march under the Olympic flag at the opening ceremony in Rio de Janeiro on Friday, 5th August. Here's more.
After fleeing the war in South Sudan, James Chenjik sees this as an unprecedented initiative that transmits a strong message of support and hope for refugees worldwide.
A good moment for all the refugees, not only people who are participating, because as we all know that we are representing the millions of refugees all over the world. So it is a chance, and it is also this one, it will show that refugees also, they can do something.
18-year-old swimmer Yusra Mardini is preparing to compete in the 100-metre butterfly and 100-metre freestyle. Since fleeing the war in Syria, Yusra has lived in Germany, where she benefits from refugee status.
This is a really great feeling because all of them have the same strong feeling about never give up, and they did a lot to reach here, and yeah, they have a lot of bad situations happened with them and with us, and we continued because we have dreams.
At the opening ceremony, these athletes will march with the Olympic flag as their backdrop immediately before their host country, Brazil. A similar process was used for the first time at the 1992 Summer Games in Barcelona for 494 athletes from 12 former USSR nations. In 2000 in Sydney, 4 athletes from East Timor marched under this flag. In 2012 in London, 3 athletes from the former Antilles and 1 from South Sudan did the same. If they win, the athletes will accept their medals to the sound of the Olympic anthem. Their hope is that their message of peace will resonate throughout the world and help to put an end to the conflicts in their home countries.
Former champion Rafael Nadal overcame rising star Alexander Zverev in a gripping contest to reach the 4th round of the Australian Open. The Spaniard, who won the title in 2009, came through 4-6, 6-3, 6-7, 5-7, 6-3. 6-2 in 4 hours and 6 minutes. Zverev, who's 19, had recovered a break early in the final set before requiring treatment for cramp. 30-year-old Nadal goes on to face France's Gael Monfils, who beat German Philipp Kohlschreiber 6-3, 7-6, 7-1, 6-4. Zverev has long been touted as a future world number one, and it appears as though he would make his Grand Slam breakthrough against Nadal. The teenager's big serve and brilliant backhand earned him a 2-1 lead after 3 sets, only for 9th seed Nadal to battle his way back in characteristic fashion. It's almost 3 years since Nadal won his 14th major title at the 2014 French Open, and that was the last time he got past the quarterfinals at a Grand Slam. When we come back, we'll have another look at the stories that made the headlines. Stay tuned. Recapping the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis stands to benefit from climate change adaptation project. New lifeline tariff being developed to assist Skelec clients. And Sugar Mass 45 officially comes to an end with a prize-giving ceremony. And finally, it was an unusual sight in Wisconsin earlier this week when thousands of red Skittles coated the road after the box they were being transported in gave away due to rain. Here's more.
A minor disaster occurred on a Wisconsin highway this week when a truckload of red Skittles candy ended up coating a highway. According to local authorities, hundreds of thousands of Skittles fell from a flatbed truck after the large box that contained the candy gave way due to rain. The Skittles were en route to be processed into cattle feed as they didn't pass inspection at the factory. The Dodge County Sheriff's Office was humorous of the incident, writing, "It is certainly clear that it may be difficult to taste the rainbow in its entirety with one color that likely fell off the truck."
And that's it for the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jason Davis.